Hello friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Danny and today I am going to be reacting to the Goodreads Choice Awards fantasy long list. I will also be looking at some other categories as well. I always like to look at sci-fi and horror, and I typically will glance at like the debut category and the romantasy category. I think it'll be kind of fun to see what is out there for us with Goodreads this year. So without further ado, let's get to the reactions. I will be, as I go through my reactions, also telling you guys about the game that I made with the Goodreads Choice Awards to see how many points I get now. I'm not going to know exactly how many points I have until the list of winners comes out and their rankings, because that is part of the point total that I can get. So I'm trying to get to 16 points or above. We'll see. Fingers crossed if I make that goal. Welcome to November 10th at 9:15 p.m. I did not realize that I was going to be doing a reaction video this evening, but Goodreads just posted their long list and I don't want to get spoiled before I actually see the list. So I'm going to go through with you guys. The fantasy long list is really the one I'm interested in because that's the one I have a game on. If you guys haven't seen my prediction video, I'll link it so you guys can go and watch that to see what my prediction of the top 20 is. I won't be able to completely figure out my points tonight because I also give myself points for them being in the top 10, which clearly, since this is the long list, we won't have a top 10 yet. But that will be what I look at primarily on this video. But I will also look at fantasy, or not fantasy, sci-fi, horror. I like to look at the debut. We'll just kind of see what the options are. We'll see if there are any categories that surprise us. I really don't expect anything weird this year. I hope that they've gotten rid of maybe some categories. The audiobook category last year was really weird, but anyway, without further ado, let's figure out what the list looks like this year. Okay. So, I want to make sure I haven't been like freaked out. Nope, this is 2025. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, is this like an old list that they've posted? But no, okay. This is the list. So, we have the audiobook category is still there, so that's unfortunate. But we have a romantasy category still in place. Fantasy, sci-fi, horror. I don't see anything else that I'm like, I don't see anything else that's new, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So let's look at the fantasy list. Okay, so right off the bat, just going down the line as far as the books, let's figure out which books I've read first off, which ones are on my TBR. We'll talk about that first. So I have read The.Dabbles. I'm not surprised that it's on this list, but not one that I will be voting for. Red City is one that I definitely want to get to. So I'm happy to see that on there. I don't think, did I? I'll have to look at my list. I have my list in front of me, but I don't want to look at it yet. I don't think I put that one on my predictions list. Did I? Catabasis, I did put on my predictions list. Thief of Night, I don't remember if I did. So the only one on that first column, or the first row that I've read, is The.Dabbles. Incandescent is in my TBR, but I haven't read it yet. Watermoon, I'm pretty sure Watermoon is one of my, what did I call them? Honorable mentions, because I thought it was going to be in the romantasy category, even though I don't know if it's romantasy or not. It's really cozy, but I ended up DNFing that one. The tone of the book just wasn't for me. Sirens, which is by the same author as Wayward, right? Is that the right book that I'm thinking of? I think it won the debut category a little bit ago. Is it called Wayward? Has a bird on the front cover and it's green. Anyway, I haven't heard of Sirens. Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil is one that I predicted, and I have read it. I did enjoy it. Not my favorite B.E. Schwab, but it was okay. The River Has Roots was one that I predicted. The Society of Noble Objects, I did predict, and I'm in the middle of reading it. Drop of Corruption, I'm very excited to see. King Sorrow, I'm surprised to see on this list. I thought that was a horror, especially being that the author is Stephen King's son. Not that that has to place you in a genre, but I haven't read anything about King Sorrow, so maybe it is just a straight up fantasy. So in that row, I've only read one, but I'm in the middle of another. So far I have 1, 2, I'll count the DNF, 3, 4, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books so far that I have read or am in the middle of or have DNF'd. The next row, I have not read any of them. I am shocked to see the strength of the few in here. Not because I don't think it deserves it, but because it doesn't come out until tomorrow. I have received my confirmation email that I will be getting it because I did pre-order it. I am happy that it's on this list because I do think that the story, The Will of the Many, was great. I haven't read The Strength of the Few, so I don't know that it's going to be getting my vote. So I'm a little disappointed that it's not on next year's, so I could vote for it, but that's okay. The Everlasting is on my TBR, but I haven't picked it up yet. I don't think I've ever heard of a Resistance of Witches. And Brigands and Breadknives is another one for, I didn't think it was going to be on this list. So I didn't predict it because I thought that it was for sure going to be on next year's list, but oh well. Wind and Truth. This will probably be the one that I vote for. Because I loved Wind and Truth. It was my favorite book of last year. I'm very excited to see Sanderson on this list. Not that he doesn't get on the list frequently, but I'm hoping that this one will be one that he can win because I just thought it was absolutely great. The Raven Scholar, I have read, did not enjoy it. I really hope it doesn't make top 10. Hemlock and Silver's on my list, but I haven't read it yet. It's a T. Kingfisher though, so I'm sure that I will love it. And Alchemy of Secrets. I thought Alchemy of Secrets was going to be... maybe I thought that was a romantasy. Once again, I don't know much about that book. I think I was going based off of the author, because isn't that the same author as the Caraval series? Maybe I have the wrong author in my head. Anyway, so that means that I have read 7 of the fantasy list, which that's pretty good. And I have several others on my want to read list. Okay, so let me pause really quick. You're going to see a quick cut because I'm going to do some quick calculations and tell you guys how many points I received. Okay, I am a little disappointed with a couple of things. There are some on here that I should have thought to put on my list, but I only got 9 points total. Now, I still have another opportunity to gain points whenever they put out the top 10 list, or I guess whenever the awards come out and I can figure out like who's the number 1 spot and so on and so forth, because I can get 1 point for having them in the correct space and then a half a point if I'm only 1 away. But having 9 points only right now, and I'm almost positive that my goal this year was to beat last year's goal, which means I have to get 16 points or more, I think. I'm pretty sure that's the number because I think I got 15 right last year. Oh, this is not going to look good for me, friends. That means I have to have 7 more points, there's no way that's going to happen in the top 10. I'm a little bummed that I didn't think to put Brigands and Breadknives on there. I really just did think that it was so close to the cutoff point that it wasn't going to make the list this year. Same thing with The Strength of the Few. I did put Water Moon on my honorable mentions, as I said before. I'm bummed to not see Emily Wilde's on this list. I'm shocked that Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales didn't even make the list. When other books that I've never heard of, like A Resistance of Witches, did. And not saying that book is terrible. I've never read it. I just haven't heard of it. And I'm going to have to look into King Sorrow, actually. Let me see if I can open this up real quick and just see. Not that the Goodreads categories are ever like super telling, but I feel like it should be in horror. I mean, the first category is horror, but I haven't read it. If you guys have read King Sorrow, I would love to hear your thoughts. So let's see. Are there any others that I was super disappointed to not see? Green Teeth, I really wanted to be on this list, but I don't think I'm shocked that it's not. Summer War by Naomi Novik, I am a little surprised isn't on here. And I guess I'm surprised that Isle of the Emberdark didn't make it, but with Wind and Truth making it, I don't know that I'm upset by it because then that won't split the vote between Sanderson reads. So it is what it is. Okay, so out of the fantasy list, the ones that I haven't read, that are on my TBR. I will eventually get to Red City. I'm hoping to get to it by the end of the year. I have really wanted to pick up something by Marie Lu. I also want to read The Incandescent. Not sure if I'll get to it by the end of 2025, but hopeful. The River Has Roots is another one on my list, but it'll probably wait until next year. The Everlasting, I currently have on my Libby. I don't know if I'm going to get to it this month or not because it's pretty busy, but Strength of the Few, I pre-ordered it, so I will read it. Brigands and Bread Knives, I will read it. I am obsessed with the series after reading Bookshops and Bone Dust. I purchased both of them, so I will be getting the paper copy for my physical collection. And then Hemlock and Silver, I'm just waiting on a hold. So out of the others, I don't know if I'm interested in the Sirens. I'm not going to read Catabasis. I'm not interested in, I think this is the second book in, I can't remember what the first one is, by Holly Black, but I'm not interested in the series. I could be interested in A Resistance of Witches. I'll have to look into that book. But the others, I'm good without reading those. If we move on to the sci-fi section, I'm hoping this year I will recognize more titles. Sci-fi is one that's really hit or miss for me, depending on the year. So we'll see. The Dream Hotel is on my TBR. I haven't read it yet. I've never heard of The Book of Lost Hours or The Once and Future Me. Poppy Fields is on my TBR. I am currently reading Salt Crops. I am really excited to see this on the list. I've really enjoyed The Stardust Grail and The Deep Sky. And then, which is by the same author, I guess I should say, if you guys don't recognize those titles. I've heard some mixed reviews on Death of an Author. I think it depends on... I think I've heard that a lot of people view it more as general fiction. I think the story within the story is sci-fi. I don't know much about the book, but I think that's just what I've heard. And Automatic Noodle, I'm excited for that one to be on the list. These other ones, Hamajang Luck, I have heard of. I didn't know John Scalzi had a book out this year. That wasn't When the Moon Hits Your Eye, I think is the one that I heard from this year. Merge, I'm waiting on a hold. I'm excited to see that. Luminous, I tried. It was a little too literary for me. The Memory Collectors is on my list. Of Monsters and Mainframes. Interesting. I think, okay. I was going to say, I think I would put that under horror and fantasy. Not sci-fi, but maybe it's sci-fi. I mean, it is space travel. I did read that. I DNF'd it. It wasn't for me either. Okay, there's the John Scalzi that I have heard of. 2 John Scalzis. Neither one of them I have read. Shroud, I did read by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Excited to see that one on the list. And I haven't heard of these other 2. Out of the ones that I have read on this list, is there only 2? Yeah, I've only read Automatic Noodle and Shroud in their entirety. I DNF some, but I'm not going to vote for a DNF. Out of those 2, I would probably vote for Automatic Noodle. I'm going to hold off because I have, how many days do we have? I think it said on the first one that we have 13, is it 13 days? Surely it's not that long. Anyway, I'll look at my deadline and figure out how long I have, because I might finish Salt Crop by then, and I'm really liking it so far, so I'm going to hold off until I finish that book before I decide what to vote on for the sci-fi section. Next, let's see, the horror section. I haven't read much horror this year. I've been a little disappointed with some of my options, and so maybe this will add to my TBR. Within the first row, I have Chuck Tingle on my list. Stephen Graham Jones just isn't for me. I have heard good things about this series, though. This book reminds me, I think is it the same author as Our Wives Under the Sea? The cover reminds me of that book for some reason. Blood on Her Tongue. I just DNF'd this book tonight. Sorry. For those of you who enjoyed, well, I'm sorry for myself. I loved My Darling Dreadful Thing. There were some things in Blood on Her Tongue that weren't for me. So I'll probably do a DNF video where I'll do a little bit of a deep dive on what I didn't enjoy about the book, but I am happy to see it on the list. Grady Hendrix, I think I've worn out my welcome with his books, but not surprised to see him on the list. I haven't heard of the others on that row. This Rachel Harrison has been on and off my TBR. I've been debating on whether or not this is one I want to try. I haven't heard of Coffin Moon. The Lamb, I've heard a couple of people talk about. Bat Eater's on my list. Hungerstone's on my list. I've heard of Bewitching, but I haven't heard of the others. I didn't realize Darcy Coates had one out this year. When the Wolf Comes Home, I did finish. It's not my favorite Nat Cassidy, but it was okay. And the Mona Awad, We Love You Bunny. I should do a prediction on who I think's gonna win. That's the only other one on this list that I guess I've heard of The Possession of Alba Diaz. I just haven't read it. Who do I think will win out of these names? I mean, Grady Hendrix and Stephen Graham Jones and Stephen King on the list. I mean, they're pretty hard to beat. Who do I think should win? I can't say that either because I haven't read most of these. It would be nice to see something like a Mona Awad, or I know that people have been loving Bat Eater, the Kylie Lee Baker, or even Blood on Her Tongue, to see those in the top. It would be nice. I'm assuming the top three are going to be the Stephen King, Stephen Graham Jones, and Grady Hendrix just because of name, but I haven't read those books, so maybe they're great. I would like to see some other names in the top, though. We'll see. Okay, moving on to debut. I'm just going to take a peek at debut and see if I recognize any of these titles. Okay, A Resistance of Witches is a debut, which makes me feel a little bit better about never hearing about it. Oh my goodness. I can't speak. It's too late for me, guys. I feel a little bit better about not having heard of A Resistance of Witches. And Alchemize, I'm not surprised to see on this list. Aftertaste, I hope that doesn't win. I'm not a fan. The Merge, I didn't realize that was a debut. That's exciting. Well, I hope that one wins, even though I haven't read it. I am so interested in that title. I've also heard good things about this, The Witch's Orchard, as well. But the rest of these I have not heard of. So not really a lot of buy-in for me there. Just out of curiosity, I don't know if I'll even leave this in, but let's look at the audiobooks that they say are great. The Devil's audiobook was okay. Onyx Storm, not surprised there. Alchemize, I've heard a lot about. I haven't heard of any of these other books. There's a Taylor Jenkins read in here. Yeah, not impressed with this category. Okay, let's see. I do want to look at the Romantasy category just to see if any of these I recognize. Oh my goodness. Guys, Emily Wilds is not a Romantasy. It's not. And neither is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. Neither one of those are Romantasy. If they are, then I don't know what Romantasy is, which I mean, I guess I don't, because this has been proven time and time again. What? No. I'm mad. Both of those were in my original. They were in my original not recommendations, but predictions for fantasy. That completely screwed up my list because they got put in Romantasy. That sucks. Also, it sucks because they're in here with Rebecca Yarros, Onyx Storm, which you know is going to win this category. So you essentially just threw away their chances of winning, which is very frustrating because those are not Romantasy reads. Maybe I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, I would love to chat with you in the comments. But out of the rest of these books, I'm interested in The Night and the Moth. I am not interested in anything else. So that's it. The Night and the Moth. And really, it's just because I want to give Rachel Gillig a chance. I've heard good things about Shield of Sparrows, but I think I've also heard bad things, depending on who you talk to. So I don't know. That one kind of interests me, but the rest of them, I think I'm good without. Okay, one last category I'm just going to glimpse at because I'm probably not going to know any titles in here, but just for Leandra's sake, I want to see if there's any books in here that I think look like a mystery. So we have a Richard Osman. We have Vera Wong. I believe that is also a mystery. I haven't read any of them. But I don't think it's a thriller like some of these other ones are. I feel like this is the one Leandra had DNF'd, Heartwood, but I could be wrong. Yeah, most of these, they look like thriller They look like thriller covers to me. So that'll be interesting. I think that's all. I think that's all I have to say. I'm really bummed about Emily Wilde's and The Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping because those are two of my favorite books of this year. That's a shame that they aren't in the actual fantasy category. So the last thing I'll do for you guys, or with you guys, is vote on fantasy. I feel like I've read enough of these and have my thoughts on who should win. This will just be kind of our little finale for this reaction video. So of the ones that I have read, Brandon Sanderson, Wind and Truth was my top read of last year. It was 5-star. I absolutely loved it. Drop of Corruption was a 4.5 star. Excellent read. If you guys like fantasy mysteries, you should give it The Tainted Cup a try. The Society of Unknown Objects is written by the same author of Book of Doors, which is my second favorite book of last year, but it's not living up to the hype of that author for me, so I don't think that one should win. The Devils was a disappointment. Barrier of Bones and Midnight Soil was okay, but it's not my favorite V.E. Schwab, so I wouldn't vote for that either. I can't say as far as Brigands and Bread Knives goes, or Hemlock and Silver, because I haven't read those yet, but I really want Sanderson to walk away with the win, and so that's the one that I will be voting for fantasy. I might, at the end of this video, depending on when this video goes out and when I finish Salt Crop, tell you guys if that's the one I ended up voting for Sci-Fi, but the other ones, if you're interested to know what I voted for on Goodreads Choice Awards, friend me or follow me on Goodreads so you guys can see what my votes are. But on to future me for the outro and anything that I missed in this reaction video. Thanks for watching, guys. So clearly the goal was not met. I mean, I still have some time. I do have to get, what did I get? I got 9 points total, so I need to get 7 points in the final round, which means I need to either get 7 of the top 10 correct in exactly the same place, or I need to get a whole bunch of them in just the, well, I couldn't even do that. I would have to get some of them in the exact right place and then some of them, you know, only 1 or 2 off, which I don't think is going to happen, friends. So I think we know that I lost the game, but I will still be anxiously awaiting what the actual list is. I am still a little peeved about Emily Wilde's being in the Romantasy category and A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, because I just don't think that those are Romantasy, but I won't I won't hold you guys too long on my frustration. I think that's my biggest frustration with this year's list, is the fact that those two were in the Romantasy category. I did go and look after I reacted, and the second Emily Wilde's book was in the regular fantasy category. So why did they suddenly change it? It's not like the romance became a bigger part of the story. It really makes me mad. But anyway, I hope you had fun watching my reactions. I look forward to the vlog for the lowest voted on books, because I'm assuming that's what I'm going to have to do. Maybe I can try and predict like which books that will be. I'm hoping that there will be some good books in the bottom 2 spots that I really do want to read in the fantasy, sci-fi, and horror categories. Have my fingers crossed for that. Maybe, you know, there are books that just have less name recognition and things like that. Maybe I'll find some hidden gems with my punishment for the Goodreads Choice Awards. But let me know if you guys were disappointed. Did you have any snubs for the Goodreads Choice Awards that you really think should have made the list that didn't? Did you guys think that they were great? Let me know your opinions. I would love to chat with you guys in the comments down below. If you're not feeling chatty but you still want to let me know that you are here, leave me one of those faces. Because I was not expecting the Goodreads Choice Awards to come out on a Monday night at like 9 o'clock at night. I don't know why, because I'm pretty sure that happened last year as well. I just didn't think about it. So next year I will be prepared. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you have a lovely evening, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!